Between the Hours, a poem written by J.C Boughton. When the world sleeps, I work. When the world wakes, I sleep. And when the world works, I wake. A life lived out of step, out of rhythm, out of place. A life threaded through the cracks of a clock, like everyone else was handed a map while I was left searching. So while the world keeps moving, I walk alone. The light drizzle that's barely there hits like a tsunami on the inside, tiny drops against my skin, an ocean collapsing in my chest. The streets are quiet, yet the world continues its routine. Everyone moving somewhere, everyone belonging somewhere. And then there are those of us drifting between the hours, watching life pass by from the wrong side of the glass. And after a while you begin to wonder where you're meant to be. The work I seek, the purpose I need, the version of myself I see, always somewhere beyond my reach, close enough to see, too far to touch. In the space between who I am and who I could be, the shadow begins to speak. The demons that darken my mind have many names. Fear, regret, anger, doubt. Names that change from person to person, yet somehow speak with the same voice. Most fade into the background, but one always remains. It lingers beneath the surface, silent and contained, like a kettle with no whistle. Pressure building unseen, like a fire with no smoke, burning where nobody looks. Never loud enough to be heard, never quieter enough to ignore, just enough to become a part of me. And yet, in all that silence, something begins to stir. A thought, a truth, a fragment of light born from a place no light should grow. A blessing and a curse, because for some of us, the deepest wounds become the deepest wells, drawing out pieces of ourselves we could never find in calmer waters. In that reflection, you begin to notice what has changed. The things that once brought me joy now feel like mountains I can't climb. Peaks I once crossed without a thought now tower high above me. Dreams I once hoped for haven't become nightmares, because that would be easier. They remain exactly where they were, just close enough to see and too far to ever touch. And in that space between, the silence breaks. Nothing stops the raging demons in my mind. Their voices are swords clashing together in a never-ending battle. No victor, no surrender, only echoes. And yet there is no good versus evil, no hero versus villain. Only different sides of the same coin, each needing the other like day needing night, because without darkness there'd be nothing left for light to break through. The battle was never about winning. It never was. It was about surviving, about carrying both without breaking beneath their weight. Every mind has its own shadows, every soul has its storms, and every person you pass is fighting a war you cannot see. Some wear it in the open, some hide it deep, and some are still fighting to survive it. But no one moves through life without something to hide. Everyone owns two masks, one for the world to see, and one for what they cannot say out loud, not to deceive, to endure, neither lost nor found, just souls moving through the space between moments, searching for a rhythm, searching for a place, searching for something that once felt like home, and finding only silence answering back.